Hey everybody, it's Eric from the MMG. Welcome to our channel. Today we're checking out Millennia. This is the game published by Paradox Interactive that is a 4X, kind of reminds you a little bit of like Sims or Civilization, or the Stellaris space game that Paradox did. It's kind of a mix of those in my opinion so far. It came out with some mixed reviews when it launched. I know a lot of people said it was missing some key features that weren't quite there, and it just kind of felt a little bit bland, but it's moved up to very positive reviews over the last I think 6 months, 8 months that it's been out, and it's got a couple of expansions coming out. One is actually out tomorrow, November the 12th. It's called Atomic Ambitions, and you can pick it up for $10. You can get the whole expansion pack, which comes with all the passes, or all the expansions. It's the expansion pass. You can get it for $24.88 if you're looking at game. I think I would recommend it if you want to dive into this game. You want to go ahead and grab the DLC and expansions. Paradox is kind of infamous for doing that and releasing games with that content and moving forward. Like, everybody owns that content, so if you don't, you will be missing out on some features. And it's kind of hard to play these games this way, so you have to kind of be all in on a Paradox game, in my opinion. And if you played Stellaris, you know what I'm talking about. If you've played what's their other world conquering 4X, Europa. If you played Europa, Universal, or whatever it's called, it's very much that way too. Very, very big, heavy game that has a lot of add-ons that really add to the game and make it really shine. So, all right, this game, let's dive into it, get it checked out. I'm going to show you. All right, one thing I really like about Millennia is how they handle technology, because you have different ages. It's a little bit slower paced than some of the other games you play, but what happens with it is when you click on your research here, as you can see, this is the age I'm in, Age of Heroes. The next one is the Age of Kings. Requires 3 technologies. So once I've learned 3 of these technologies, I can actually advance to the Age of Kings after it is researched, if I want. Or you can stay here and fill out and learn the rest of these if you want. You can go back and learn one previously that you skipped, like I skipped shipbuilding from the previous age. I could actually focus it if I wanted and get it learned. So it's not like you lose the technologies, but you can advance to the faster things if you would like to, move ahead. That does kind of seem to be the way that it needs to be done, in my opinion, so far. I could be wrong about that. I still have a lot of game to play. But that's how technology is handled. I like it. You can scroll over and see what it all unlocks. Very well thought out. It's a good layout, and it makes it easy to understand and read. Another thing that's interesting about Millennia is how it handles your progression as far as the different stages. So a lot of times with like the Civ games I'm going to reference, or even some with Stellaris, when you had something to do, before you could end your turn, it would pop up and tell you, hey, you need to do this first. This game has a little bit of a different approach. Well, it does pop up sometimes, mostly for military units, or like a tech tree choice. There's other things over here where you have like your culture, your government, your exploration, your warfare, and your diplomacy, where you'll just see these red numbers here. And that usually indicates that you have enough points built up to make a choice. So I have 3 choices here that I can pick because I have enough of the points built up. So that's kind of what that's indicating, but it doesn't force me to do it before I advance. Warfare, kind of the same way. I can use my domain power to gain reinforcements. Or even with diplomacy, if I had a choice here, it would be red, and I could pick from one of these. So that's kind of how this game works. You kind of have to keep an eye on it over on the left-hand side to make sure it's working. The other thing I want to talk about is the city situation. So I really only have 2 large cities, Dallas and Miami, but you'll get to put in smaller cities that are called towns, and they have to be adjacent to the city in the circle of influence, I suppose. And you put it down, and it takes up a tile, and it's kind of like a high-end tile, I suppose. It's kind of an interesting mechanic. And the other thing they have is outposts, which, see, I built an outpost here that functions as it's got a border, and you can see here I blocked off the mountains with this, so it kind of functions as, what I would consider to be an outpost. They're like a way to see away from your land a little bit, not utilizing the resources to build a city necessarily, but you have vision from there, and you can put troops there and all that stuff, so. I do like these features of Millennia quite a bit, and I've enjoyed my time to this game a lot. It's a lot slower paced than a lot of the other 4X games that I've played. If you want to compare it to Civ, which is going to be a lot of comparisons, because it is very similar, this game lets you stack units where, the old Civ used to do that. Now, you can't have, like, death stacks of 50 units. You can only have 3 units, as many as I can have right now. I don't know if that changes later on or not. But 3 units into a stack, so it's not crazy, but you can mix and match to make your to make them complement each other and make your army strong. The other thing that it does, that it feels like it's slower. So I showed you the ages earlier in the technology tree. It kind of does that with everything. So everything's advancing slower than you would think of in a Civ game technology wise, but you're still advancing. There's just like micro advances, I suppose. So it feels like the momentum's there and you're still moving forward, but you're just moving forward at a slower overall pace than some of the other games that you play. So Millennia, I'm excited to check out the expansions. I know they have a new one coming out on November the 10th, and it is called the Atomic Ambitions expansion. And it looks really, really good. So if you haven't been following this game, or if you maybe let it slip like I did, now's a great time to check it out, because you can pick it up on Steam currently. On the regular price for a Millennia is $39.99. And you can buy the new expansion pack that's coming out tomorrow for $10, or you can grab the season pass that was $24.88 to get all the DLCs that have been released so far. That's probably what I'd recommend. As I said before, as you know, how these games work, you really kind of want that content to get the full experience. So, all right, that has been my quick review of Paradox's Millennia. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're looking forward to the new expansion coming out tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts below, and have yourself a great day.